vast majority of people accepted that universe was created a few thousand years before the birth of Christ, and all the species of plants and animals were put on the earth at that time without any change. However, the visible relationship between species forced some people to take a different view. They started developing the idea that the origin of species is due to gradual change. Various theories have been put forward to understand and explain the process of evolution by many scientists such as Lamarck, Darwin, De Vries, and so on. Lamarckism, first one. The first theory of evolution was proposed by French biologist Jean-Baptiste Lamarck in 1809 and was published in the book titled Philosophic Zoologic. This theory is popularly known as Lamarckism or theory of inheritance of acquired characters. It is based on four principles like new need, use and disuse of organs, inheritance of acquired characters, and speciation. The first one, new need. The changes in the environmental factors like light, temperature, food, air, etc., or migration of animal lead to the origin of new needs in the living organisms, especially animals. To fulfill these new needs, the living organisms have to exert special efforts like the changes in the habits or behaviors. For example, environmental factors such as soil, nutrition, temperature, etc., acted directly on the plants and indirectly on animals. Lamarck demonstrated the effects of rich and poor soil on the same species of plant and pointed out that how plants growing in poor soil were small and weak, and those growing in rich soil were luxurious and healthy. This led him to conclude that organisms were influenced by environmental conditions, whichever changes that would lead to a change in the habits and creating a new need for modification of existing structure or organ. Second principle, use and disuse of organs. The new habits involve the greater use of certain organs to meet new needs and disuse or lesser use of other organs which are of no use in new conditions. Continuous use of an organ makes it stronger and more developed. Continuous disuse makes the organ weaker and weaker. This use and disuse greatly affect the form, structure and functioning of organs. Ultimately, after a period of the organ becomes atrophied. This concept is known as use and disuse of organs. So the organism acquires certain new characters due to direct or indirect environmental effects during its own lifespan and are called acquired characters. Use develops an organ better. For example, the ancestral giraffes were short-necked and short-legged animals. They lived in planets and grazed on grass. When environmental conditions changed, the grass almost disappeared. There was a new need to feed on leaves of trees. All the leaf-bearing branches would not be at the ground level. In order to reach the leaves of higher branches, the ancient giraffes had to constantly stretch their necks and legs. The stretching went on for a number of generations. The shoulders grew higher and the necks and the legs longer in response to the new need. The increase in size is due to the constant use was cumulative in each generation. The result was the development of new species of modern giraffes with long neck and legs. An organ degenerates when not used. Lamarck gave example of snakes to this. Snakes traveled through narrow spaces and grass during movement. Their leaves touched the ground in the process of movement, and the limbs were not used much. The limbs even interfered with the crawling movement. Continued crawling made the body long and cylindrical. Continued disuse of limbs result in the modern limbless cylindrical bodied snakes. Some other example for the disuse are continuous disuse of wings in flightless birds, continuous disuse of eyes in burrowing animals as well as in the animals who live in caves. Continuous disuse of auricular muscles resulted in non-movement of earlobes in humans. Principle number 3. Inheritance of acquired characters. The changes which are brought about due to the use of and disuse of organs during lifetime of an individual will be inherited by its offspring, and subsequently these changes will accumulate over a long periods of time. This is called inheritance of acquired characters. Principle number 4. Speciation. Thus, according to the Lamarck, the characters which an organism acquires during the lifetime are inherited by the succeeding generations. He also assumed that formation of new species will take place after several generations called speciation. So according to Lamarck, an existing individual is the sum total of the characters acquired by a number of previous generations, and the speciation is a gradual process. Dewey's theory of mutation, second theory. So that is Dewey's theory. Hugo Dewey is a Dutch botanist, one of the independent rediscoverers of Mendelism, put forward his views regarding the formation of new species in 1901. According to him, new species are not formed by continuous variations but by sudden appearance of variations which he named as mutations. Hugo Dewey stated that mutations are heritable and persist in successive generations. He conducted his experiments on Oenothera lamarckiana, commonly known as evening primrose. Dewey made several interesting and careful observations on the wild population of Oenothera. Out of the 50,000 odd plants that he observed, nearly 800 plants showed distinct and wide differences from the normal. They differed in height, leaf size, and texture, and flower characteristics, so much so that they could be placed in a separate species such as Oenothera lanella with short plants with broad leaves, Oenothera levifolia, smooth leaves, Oenothera brevistylis, flowers with short style, etc. Dewey called these large differences as mutation and the plants as mutants. Principles of mutation theory. New species of organisms arise by changes or discontinuous variations called mutations. Hence, mutations are the raw material for evolution. Second one, mutations arises all of a sudden and a new species arises which is markedly different from its ancestor. Number 3, there are no intermediate stages between a species and an existing species. Number 4, mutations can be progressive, that is beneficial, or retrogressive, that is harmful. Number 5, mutations like continuous variations come under the forces of natural selection. Hence, speciation is a quick, jerky process arising in a single generation unexpectedly. Evidences for the mutation theory. De Vries gave following examples to provide following evidences for his theory. A short-legged variety of sheep named Ancon, born to normal-legged male ram sheep and female ewe sheep, is appeared in the population of sheep in England. Short leg was heritable mutation. Second one, normal cattle produce offsprings without horns. This condition is called foaled or hornless or Hereford cattle. This hornless condition is also inheritable. Number 3, albinism. The lack of melanin pigment is seen in rats, mice, rabbits, guinea pigs, and man is inherited. Number 4, the white-eyed Drosophila produced from red-eyed Drosophila by mutation. Hence, white-eyed Drosophila was a mutant. Significance of this theory lies in the fact that it was De Vries who first focused the attention of biologists on the importance of mutation. Darwin called mutation as spots or saltations. Mutations, as explained by De Vries, cannot be the only source of speciation.